Is there any questions y'all might have?
Mr. Mayor, the governor has put forward her budget, which includes more money for education, filling in some gaps from stimulus money, reversions, some of the loss of financial aid for college students. What do you make of that? What is your opinion on that?
I have not got to see the details of her budget as of yet, but I will be reviewing both her budget and the legislature budget in detail. And the dilemma we got in, which I don't think has been clearly explained to the public regarding our budget deficit, is that when we accepted the stimulus money and transferred it into short-term operating costs, everyone knew who accepted that operating money that this day of reckoning was going to come. And what's surprising to me is that the governor is acting so shocked that this day of reckoning came last year and this year, because when they accepted the stimulus money and transferred it to operating, they just delayed making the tough decisions that were being made, and they obviously, I think, transferred some of the blame elsewhere in that with regard to the budget. So I want to clearly communicate to you, because I was a mayor at the time in accepting stimulus money, that every one of us who accepted stimulus money knew that it was going to run out. And if you used it for any operating cost, it was only going to last two to 3 years at most. So none of these issues should come as a surprise, and I think there's been some demagoguery with regards to how we got here. It started actually many years ago.
Mayor Mccrory, your reaction to the attack ad. We talked to Brian yesterday, but we want to hear it from you.
You know, I haven't seen it on TV yet because they're playing it everywhere but Charlotte. And I think there's a reason for that, because I think the people who would see it in Charlotte would actually laugh at it, because almost all of the information on that ad is information that is extremely misleading and wrong. And the people of Charlotte, including the media, know it, because there was nothing in that ad which was not a public record. What they did was connect some things and basically made an ad into a total lie, and they were so embarrassed by it that they didn't even put their own name at the end of the ad, which and they didn't play it in my hometown, which I think is a sign. You know, these kind of ads that attack one's character is, I think, reaching a very low point. I was used to the garbage ad in 2.8, but this exceeds even the garbage ad of 2.12. And both ads are garbage. This one's garbage, which attacks one's character. And any of you who have known me in public service knows that I've never had any ethical indiscretions. I had to give that impression. It's a personal insult. Not only to me, but to the people of North Carolina. The problem is the people of North Carolina won't know it. And that's why we are challenging some of the broadcasters, including this room, for showing such a misleading.
Mayor Bruce Noldor for WRAL. And WRAL has conducted a poll conducted by Survey USA, and it shows you 5 percentage points. I wanted to, we broke down it by region and geography, and I wanted to ask about that. It shows you leading by 22 points in the greater Charlotte area in the western portion of the state, 8 points up in Raleigh. However, your competitor, Walter Dalton, is up 21 points in the southern portion in the coastal area of the state and 13 points in Greensboro. So, what's your take on that? And
can I borrow that ad so I don't have to pay for one? I mean, can I borrow that survey so I don't have to pay for it? With the help of my campaign finance. I will say this, that it's kind of interesting that the negative ads are primarily playing in those areas of the state. And I saw this, Governor Perdue did the exact same thing, playing very negative ads and inaccurate ads. In 2008, Walter Dalton and the Democratic Governors Association, of which Governor Perdue was vice chairman and actively involved, along with her people who ran her past ads, are running these ads. It's obvious they're using the same strategy, just a heck of a lot earlier. This is very, very early to not only for negative ads, but so blatantly.
how do you make up for it in areas where you're not?
We've got a long-term strategy. This is a marathon. It's not a sprint. I've been through this before. the surveys, I'm sure it's going to be a close election. We anticipate winning, but we also know there's a lot of money from out of state. There's a lot of union money on the ground right now, all the states and many of the major metropolitan areas. And there's going to be a machine trying to defeat our bid to become governor. There's a lot of people inside the Beltline that don't want an outsider to come in and change the way we run state government. They're coming out of the woods right now. And we're seeing in these ads that they'll say and do anything to keep their power, because this is the last vestige of that power, the good old boys and good old girls system that has to change.
There are two things.
But I anticipated it, not just this early. It's kind of sad that I anticipated it, but it happened.
There are two things. Sorry, you said there's a lot of money out of state, a lot of union money. They don't want someone from outside of the Beltline to come on in. So you're saying you won't accept out of state money at all, or outside donations?
No, in fact, I got outspent 3-1 last time. I've learned that you better have the finances. I hope not. Last election, if I recall, the governor spent $19 million. We spent $6 nothing. So I've learned what it's like to be outspent. But we're getting support across the nation. And I'm going to seek that support because North Carolina, I think, is crucial for the nation's recovery. When North Carolina is the 4th highest unemployment rate in the nation, this is one of the states that's dragging down the nation's recovery, and I plan to help in the nation's recovery by having North Carolina recover itself.
Now, the other day, my colleague Larry Stogner asked you, and this is going to come up again and again and again, about your tax returns.
Yeah,
You're
and
not
I'll give you the same answer again and again and again. So thank you very much.
Why aren't you going to release your tax returns?
I've already answered that question, and you guys can keep asking, but I appreciate it. You can use the same quote that I've used in the past. Thank you very much.
People are asking again and again.
Actually, ABC
11,
you
Kelly
guys
Kira.
are about the only ones asking again and again, and I've answered that question clearly, and I've given you an answer, so accept it.
Pat,
You can disagree with it, but that's fine.
Mayor.
And I think you're almost becoming an editorial in disagreeing with it, but that's your prerogative.
It's just our viewers, sir. They want to know, and so we ask.
This attack ad is case one.
Yeah.
So you're anticipating more are going to come. We're anticipating more are going to come week after week. There's small buys in targeted markets. What's the strategy going to be? Are you going to come out with positive ads now? Are you going to counter these? Where are you going with this?
Well, I'm not going to tell you what our strategy is, but I can tell you I have a pretty consistent record of what type of campaigns I run. And I'm proud of some of the ads that I've already produced, and they aren't attack ads. And I'm still convinced, despite even some of the attacks coming from the media, which I think are completely distorted, that if people see a good campaign in which I just talked about, I'm looking for more questions related to my speech. I think people are looking for a vision and a strategy and solutions to this state's serious problem. I want to fix this broken government and broken economy.
Do you have a
And that's
position?
what
You
I
talked
think people are
about,
interested
and
in.
News 14 Carolina, you talked about changing the energy environment here in your speech. How does your experience at Duke Energy help you with that, and what specifically would you do?
Oh, my experience at Duke Energy is very helpful because I understand both the need for low-priced electricity and also electricity that's dependable. And I think there's a lack of acumen or understanding of power in both our nation and our state, especially among public officials, because if we're going to recruit new industry and get new industry, we have to have low-cost power. In fact, right now, low-cost power is one of the great recruiting tools that we have in North Carolina. And I worked at Duke for 29 years, and I understand the infrastructure, I understand the financing, and I understand the basic science. And I think that would be a great attribute.
Hydraulic fracturing in particular? Fracking?
Well, I've had to educate myself more on that because I was not involved in that part of the business, but I've done a lot of studies on what they're doing in Pennsylvania and other states, and again, as I stated in the speech, we've wasted 4 very crucial years in which we could have been both developing regulations and environmental policy and tax policy at the same parallel path of recruiting industry to come to North Carolina to look at our resources. That could have been a parallel track. And
made hay about what you do at the Moore and Van Allen firm, and you have said that you're not a lobbyist, and you've said that repeatedly.
I'm not only saying it. No one's proved I am.
Well,
I think it's for someone to make that accusation, which by the way is against the law. Someone better come out with some facts soon, both for me and my firm, which I'm very proud of.
But don't you think it would be the public? It would help the public understand what you do and what potential conflicts you may have if you're a governor to explain businesses that you may be working with at Moore and Van Allen?
I clearly explained that I do not work with any clients in which we're lobbying, the company lobbies for, but I will not mention the other businesses that we're in because of policies of my firm out of respect for my firm's clients. So, listen, I've worked for Duke Energy for 16 years. 29 years, and I've worked with many industries as an economic development person at Duke Energy too. So this is nothing new. And I think my message that I stated clearly out there is this attack on private sector people who are trying to serve the public is, I think, very harmful to the future of state government. I hope you all realize that too, and you need to ask the tough questions. Most of the things that have been announced have been public record. Time. I was amazed by one channel, local channel here, they announced about, due to us, we found out about Lending Tree. I did a press release on Lending Tree when I joined Lending Tree. This was not any new information. Everything I had to do with Lending Tree was public record all along, and anyone in the media should know that.
Do you have a position on the Cherokee Gambling Compact?
I'll tell you, I'm studying the deal right now, but my basic impression is this, is the one part where you go from machines to live dealers, I don't see much difference. The part that I'm seeing, and I think I need to examine more, and I haven't got the details because I need to let you know that I'm not in the legislature and haven't been in the legislature for the past 2 years. Some seem to think I have been, but I do think we need to make sure that we look at how much expansion there is in the Cherokee Compact, and also if the state's getting its fair share of that revenue. And discuss and find out more about how that deal was struck and whether it's the best deal for the state of North Carolina, in addition to the Cherokee tribe.
Thank you. Just one more about your speech. You talked in education.
Thanks for asking.
Yes.
Thanks for asking about the speech. I appreciate that.
You said you didn't want to. This is not the time to throw more money at it. That you want to reform it, fix it. Your thoughts then about the other side saying it's time for a 3/4 cent sales tax?
One thing I want to say, a 3/4 cent sales tax, which is the term you use and is the term both the lieutenant governor and the governor use, that's a 15% tax increase. They love to use the term penny because it doesn't sound much. But a 15% increase on small business and large business to the consumer during the worst recession that we've seen would cost North Carolina jobs. And right now, you don't see a lot of businesses increasing the price of their product when they're trying to get sales. The same economic parameters also are true in government. We're competing against South Carolina, Virginia, and Tennessee, in addition to the rest of the United States and the rest of the world. We have the highest income tax, corporate tax, sales tax, and gas tax in the region. We're not competitive right now. And as a result, I think one of the reasons we are the 4th highest unemployment rate in the country is because we aren't developing a strategy, both a tax strategy and an economic development strategy. That's one reason in my speech I talked about the integration. Education needs to be integrated into our economic development. Thank you all very much. It's not